say, because of your hip, you're not able to sit long for meditation, things like that. So when you get up to stretch, that now means like get up, shoot a picture, walk around, and sit back down.
Are we striving to?
We're going to do regular service today.
You're here on Sunday, yes. And I say usually we don't. So.
I'm not sure.
I'm sitting in a chair with the black.
You rock whatever you're gonna do. William used to. William was always a fish here. Yeah. Joshua too. Joshua's a fish here. It takes a while, and you've got physical reasons why you're not able to sit still.
Also, I've sat in that chair before, and it is somewhat uncomfortable.
Because everything's closed.
Floor, yeah. So don't be afraid to find a chair that kind of.
I think she likes that it
Oh,
rocks.
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
Oh, good.
The rocking is good.
This is what you gotta do. It's not gonna interrupt my meditation.
Okay, so just no, if you like a corner only, don't push it.
Okay.
Just put it out flat.
Okay. Well, then if you're gonna do that, you push it in and put the lid in on top. You see what I'm saying? So see how you've got one side lit low and one side lit high.
It's so weird, Jerry.
Put it slide on the side instead of the
It's so weird.
It is strange.
It's strange when he's not here.
You're not on that.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I'm really thought after all of this. Oh, okay.
You're not very good with it. Still winter.
So, okay, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So, one of the things I like about the opportunity to have a sermon each Sunday that I kind of took from my early Lutheran upbringing was that a good sermon should always be topical to the moment and should come from a personal experience of the pastor. So this is something every Sunday I kind of get to Friday or Saturday, and I start thinking about themes, and I'm like, what could the sermon be this week? And then I always come back to what was going on with me this week. And so this week was a really interesting week for me. I have recently really started to experience the joy of service. I mean, just the tremendous, deep joy of service to others that maybe I gave lip service to before, but I didn't really deeply understand how beautiful and powerful and energizing and uplifting it is to be of service to other people. And I realized that generosity and gratitude and giving is not about the person that you're giving it to. It's about you as well. I mean, it truly is, because in the end, if we're truly giving of a pure and noble spirit with no expectation, it doesn't even matter if the person appreciates it. It is fulfilling in and of itself. And what it has reminded me is that the reason it is the first of the 6 paramitas, the first of the 6 perfections, is because it's our first opportunity to experience what it's like to be a Buddha. Because the only thing Buddhas are concerned with is causing all thinking and feeling beings to enter into this way, quickly become Buddhas. And it's not in another world, and it's not in another life. And it's not if we get rid of everything that we are just to become something else. It's in this body now, in this moment. You already have it. There's nothing to achieve, there's nothing to gain, there's nothing to slough off. If only this, then this. No, you already have it. If you want to be able to act like one, stop having a limited mind. Stop separating yourself from other beings and realize that you're no different than anyone else. These things that we try to protect, that we try to hold on to, that define ourselves, don't even exist. And we only see ourselves through the mirror of everybody else. You know, Nathan doesn't see Nathan unless Nathan sees himself through his wife, through his child, through the people he works with, through the Sangha. That's the only thing that allows Nathan to have a concept of who this being is. And the different people that change outside of him will give him different perspectives. But all of those perspectives are unique and different, so there is no Nathan that really exists. It's all a matter of perspective. And that's all of us. We don't exist as these solid beings that are always one way. We're constantly in flux, constantly changing. Which is why we cannot put our faith in transitory things. It's just suffering will come from that. It's not just evil, you're not sinful for doing it, we all do it, but it will cause suffering. And I keep referring back to the Nirvana Sutra, when the Buddha talks about that suffering is not feeling pain. Suffering is not feeling hunger, sickness, old age, death, or birth. Suffering is not having the Dharma. Suffering is not realizing that it's all just part of it. It's not good or bad. It just is. I think about when I first started this journey in 2001. And I remember taking the bus to Toronto, Canada to see Smokershan and go to the temple in Toronto. And I remember taking the bus from Rochester there, and I remember a homeless man who was riding to Buffalo to go to the mission, tapping me on the shoulder as I was reading a book. And he said, "How can I be happy?" And I was completely and totally taken aback. I was like, "Why the hell are you asking me?" But then I realized that he was asking me because I was exuding the Buddha nature at that time period, reading my book on Buddhism, going to a temple, feeling all this. But I realized in that moment, I, as a limited human being, did not have the answer for this man. And in that moment, the Buddha provided me the answer. And I told him, I said, happiness is service to others. When you're serving others, you're not thinking about your own problems. You're thinking about the benefit of other beings. And this really affected me, but it didn't truly blossom until the last 6 weeks, 8 weeks. When I really learned what it was like to take total joy in helping, with no expectation of anything in return. Just love, just helping, just caring. And that what I realized was it didn't make me less. It didn't deplete my energy. It made me more satisfied, happier, more grounded, more in the moment. And that is what I think the Buddha felt, is that deep, compassionate love towards all sentient beings, but not just from one direction. When love is apparent, our love is complete, but it's also filled with all sorts of other things. Fear, pride, and all of these things. That is my child, mine. And that's a wonderful experience, right? But then the love that you feel towards your students when you're a teacher, it's a different kind of love. It's still love, though. And then when you experience the love of a leader, who has to lead people in a variety of ways, providing both positive experiences and negative sometimes. There's a different kind of love with that. And that is what the eternal Buddha, in our estimation, is doing, is feeling that love on all of those different levels simultaneously, which is what we're aspiring to do for every sentient being that we come in contact with, whether it's our own child, whether it's a crackhead on the street, or a teacher. That's what we're trying to do. And the uniqueness of this practice is that other practices in Buddhism are about perfecting yourself first. But this practice is centered on perfecting others, being of service and of benefit. And in the process of doing that, you will find perfection for yourself. But it's the fact that we are first and foremost centered on being of benefit to all thinking and feeling beings so that they can attain enlightenment, which is an understanding that right here, right now, is a beautiful place. And that everyone we meet has the ultimate potential. And that like a parent whose child is horribly behaved, we love them nonetheless. And like a teacher whose student is horribly behaved, we love them nonetheless and help them change. And like a sovereign and a leader, sometimes we love them so much we have to let them fall and deal with their own karma and their own consequences. And that's hard too, but that is what love is. So in the end, if you want to be a Buddha, act like one. Realize that service to others is where true and genuine, consistent, reliable happiness comes from. If it's all about you, there's always something to protect. There's always something to reach. But when you realize, like, everything you have and everything you are is really honestly the result of everybody else and all of their efforts and support of you, then you can grow. Because in the end, like, you are the result of all the opinions and thoughts of the family that came generations before you, that passed it down and down and down and down, and then that was passed to you. You're the result of your genetic heritage that came to you. There's lots of things that you have no choice. Like, does that really define you? These are constantly changing things. So we chant today, let's think about that this practice that we practice is not for ourselves, yet we gain the ultimate benefit from it. Dojo game. Please turn to page 7. Page 5. Honor be to the great mandala, the perfect circle of all honorable ones revealed by our founder and shonen. Honor be to the eternal Buddha, Shakyamuni, our original teacher, the Lord of the Dharma, our great benefactor who attained enlightenment in the remotest past. Honor be to the Sutra of the lotus flower of the wonderful Dharma, the teaching of equality, the great wisdom, the one vehicle. Honor be to our founder, the great Bodhisattva Nichiren Shonen, dispatched by our original Buddha. Honor be to Renkejayara Nichiren Shonen, the first overseas missionary. Honor be to the protective deities of the Dharma. We honor all of you. May you come to this consecrated place out of your compassion towards us. See us with the light of your wisdom and accept our offering of chanting the sutra. Namu Verses for opening the sutra. The most profound and wonderful teaching is presented in this sutra. This sutra is difficult to read even once in thousands and millions of aeons. Now we have been able to see, hear, receive, and keep this sutra. May we understand the most excellent teaching of the Tathagata. The most excellent teaching of the great vehicle is very difficult for us to understand. We shall be able to approach enlightenment when we see, hear, or touch this sutra. Expounding is the Buddha's wisdom. Expounded is the Buddha's truth. The letters composing this sutra are the Buddha's manifestation. Just as perfume is caused by something put nearby, so shall we be richly benefited by this sutra, even when we are not aware of being so benefited, because infinite merits are accumulated in the sutra. We may expiate our past transgressions due to the need to attain Buddhahood by the merits of this sutra. It does not matter whether we are wise or not, or whether we believe in the sutra or surrender. This sutra is the most wonderful and most excellent taught by the Buddhas of the past, present, and future. May we either receive it, birth after birth, or world after world. Page 11. Orenge-kyo, Owen Bondai, Niji Seson,
Samayan Yogi Pivo Shariyasu Shogo Jiye, Yogo Jiye, Nangye, Nangye, Isa Shogo, Yakashi, Yusu Shogo, Yoshi, Shogi Shara, Yusu Shogo, Yakasen, 我闻光有不是我闻因果是有周一周人手一沙达若来我闻其人阿弥是他一主手谁要是若来其人若来因果日有梦夜一主手一人若给他是他爱因缘在中日一三一照不后谁要是若来若是日是是若谁后空对云南大是心谁要是只有空气不有不人一照不后不是有日心谁要是这是手一下单，不是手手指在一天，能给心有力，不是手不是爱手不是手一手手一手，牛嘴手牛嘴手牛嘴开牛嘴牛嘴三牛嘴牛嘴牛嘴大牛嘴后牛嘴后马是九九手一手牛嘴手牛嘴手牛嘴开牛嘴一牛嘴三牛嘴牛嘴牛嘴大牛嘴后牛嘴后马是九九手一手牛嘴手牛嘴手牛嘴开牛嘴牛嘴三牛嘴牛嘴牛嘴大牛嘴后牛嘴后马是九九
大連芸教、お大十郎、大十六、伊賀特別大
商業商工主無料約千三パラオミトサ工業店無収六十六四十五十六以外無料工業十六工園店安基十十六十我大都是我心里我心里有人都是有最懂你不认识人家那是都后不有啥一人爱人都你有他是我心是有必须就是必须让你心就是天就是自己下不心有其他就是走不是有是三大地都是走走来地是那是地我变地我变那是那是有不是有不有心有啥大不我一句一三四九九九不梦一场地呀那是有大天有日有我是在有不在有不一天心有我手他是我心我心人都爱是一生我心是一有在我啊手机有就在有之身只有手指手指有天国天台大手手指下去就安东天云就是忙东云手手他是我手完手 修打给他许多手有楽手天百天九九三十七百五万达拉给三十九代十大有多福地地十天手金主手有有的十万岁手在十九一百多年他所地都不梦三有有手十九万七地下手在天下心在西地三国万西一西十六个乃天之下地三十南地下地有的高手无六十六十九十九手不着口地下莫多西手里头当有人不知我我我一生我本地区我西头只在你东西不着三我大呀里谁不知手不人下里风不真着只在你我那自己就跟家头地手有心情我一直在不够有不大我不都知道有其实有有都不有都只有手大有一些是我爱其他人一家有是有走路就走
Page 62. Devotion. So, the wonderful truth is found in the Lotus Sutra. We go thy mode, we now chant with what the past Buddhas taught, that the present Buddhas are teaching, and the future Buddhas shall teach. It is the great Dharma, true and pure, the propagation of which was transmitted primarily to Bodhisattva Gyogyo by the Buddha and non-sacred ego. One sweet chant. Namu. We shall attain the right view that the 3,000 worlds exist in our minds just as they are. The pure light and tranquil light shall be made manifest in our sight, and together with all other living beings we shall enjoy living in the land of truth. May the sound of our chanting go thine hope to permeate the whole world, be offered to the three treasures, and be bestowed on all beings. May all beings enter the world in the one reality, the great vehicle. May the Buddha and be adorned, and all beings favored with the merits of our chanting. Om-myo Renge Kyo. Please turn to page 66. The difficulty of retaining the sutra from chapter 11 to Holy Sutra. It is difficult to keep this sutra.
I shall be glad to see anyone keeping it even for a moment. So will all the other, because he will be praised by all the, because he will be a man of valor, a man of endeavor. He should be considered to have already observed the precepts and practice of the God. He will quickly attain the unsurpassed enlightenment of the God. Anyone who believes and recites this sutra in the future is a true son of mine. He shall be considered to live on the stage of purity and good. Anyone after my execution who understands the meaning of this sutra will be out of the world of heaven. And anyone who breaks down this sutra even for a moment in this special world will be honored with offerings by all gods and men.
Page 68, golden chain. I'm a link in Lord Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my lips bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends my happiness and misery. May every link in Lord Buddha's golden chain of love become bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Are we the echo today, the prayer? Page 71. We respectfully dedicate all our merits now gathered to the great benevolent teacher Shakyamuni, the eternal Buddha, to the supreme teaching of the Lotus Sutra, to the leader of the declining latter age of the Dharma, our founder, the great Bodhisattva Swami, and to the protective deities of the Dharma. May all beings under the heaven and within the four seas live in accordance with the wonderful Dharma. May the wonderful Dharma spread throughout the 10,000 years of the declining latter age of the Dharma. May we realize this world is the eternal Buddha's pure land. May peace permeate all the world and all beings enjoy peace and happiness. May all beings live in safety and live long without misfortune. May the peace and happiness last forever and all beings be prosperous. We pray that all beings awaken to the true nature of reality, which is the Buddha Dharma. May all beings of all realms be held equally, overcome suffering, and gain the happiness of blissful liberation through the merits of following the teaching of the Lotus Sutra. We pray for the spirits of our ancestors and for all the spirits of the universe. We especially pray for those in sickness and distress. We remember Lisa Simmons and Carmen Laverne, Damian Reddick and Wendy Prevost, Jason Wellman and Jesse Schaefer, Lotus Meshi and David Mills, Gail Bowles, Dave Watson and Beth Watson, Gabe Benitez, Victoria, Jesse Travis Burnham, Scoop, Dawn Robinson, Jamie Logan, Dennis Sullivan, Pat Sullivan, Saskia Eller, Julie Rose, Dahlia Bob Ritchie, Eric Lynn Hilsman, Michael D. Ritchie, and Glenda Williams. We also remember those in memoriam. We remember Maria Valentin, Jean Knopf, Julia Petrikowski, Cheryl Sissy Jones, Stella the dog. We also remember Scoop the dog, Maggie Herman and Ming Chi the dog, Elaine and Joe Winter, Jack Parker, Harry Paquin, Bill Mears Sensei, Aunt Barbara, Kazuko Jordan, Cheryl Cushman, Patrick Scanlon, Don Robinson's husband, Mother Coleman, Phyllis Stevens, Robert Rose, and Jared Lovejoy. We also remember our own Keishan, who was in the hospital, Chuck. We remember him so that he may find peace in his time of suffering, and that he may be of benefit to others in showing them the Buddhist way. May we purify our minds, limit our desires, learn to be content, feel free to experience the quiet and assuming joys of life, and learn to abandon all attachments formed in the mind. With this prayer, we endeavor to increase our understanding and appreciation of what others have given and contributed to us, and to develop constant, mindful consideration of how our thoughts and actions will beneficially contribute to others. Namu. Please do page 77, 78. Seigan, the 4 great vows. Shujomu Hensegando.
Sentient beings are innumerable. I vow to save them all.
Onno Mushu Segandan.
Our defilements are inexhaustible. I vow to quench them all.
Omon Mujin Seganchi.
The Buddha's teachings are immeasurable. I vow to know them all.
Utsudo Mujo Seganjo.
The way of the Buddha is unexcelled. I vow to attain the path sublime.
With this body.
Until I attain Buddhahood, I shall hold my faith in the Lotus Sutra. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo.
Venerable ones, remember us. Be where you like, and come again out of your compassion. Please place your hands in hold while you go in. If you have someone next to you who doesn't know, please show them. We'll sit in silent meditation. Then service. Jin Shingyo. Meditation on the sublime Dharma of Myo and the righteousness of life. Thank you all very much for coming today. Very much. Good to see you. I just want you all to know that I very much appreciate you today and getting to share this practice with you. We were all in our faith Bodhisattva from under the earth, Buddhist saints who came to support the Dharma. So thank you very much. So if everyone wouldn't mind, we love taking pictures after service, so we'll all chip in, kind of move the chairs, set up the tables, and then we're going to take a picture, and then everybody will get tea and cookies and stuff like that. Whereas, getting all for the original.
How did I get to
Here you go, the original.
Hello, hello. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in forever. How are you, sweetie?
Nice to you. How are you? Can I have a hug too? You don't know me yet, but you're gonna know me. How you doing, buddy?
It's cool, Katie. At least you get to spend time with me.
Can I have a hug too? I love your shirt. You got a bear on it. I love bears. Bears are cool.
Oh, I miss you. It's grown so much. Oh my goodness. Growing and growing and growing. You're just so grown up.
Here, we'll do it. We made the second row a bit easier. Perfect. I'll introduce you myself. Yes.
Put away all the chairs.
Okay.
Leave some of the chairs out so we can sit on.
How are we lucky enough to get to have you here today? Did you come with Maisha? Did you just come on your own?
I'm here.
Awesome. Sweet. This is wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Wow. You want to take a picture? All right, let's all line up for a picture. We have